Hello and welcome to Soaking Up Life with me, Emily Atack, the show that talks all about glorious transformations. Now, my guest today, she went from winning the Euros to being crowned Queen of the Jungle and gone through many transformations herself. It's the legend, Jill Scott. Yes!
Hello.
Oh my God, I'm actually really starstruck of you.
No, I can't believe the first time that I met you was letting you into the bathroom and I could hear you saying, I really need a wee. And I was like, Jill, wee quicker.
It was a quick bonding session. Yes, I will be doing that throughout all of this. Now, there's so many things I want to talk to you about. I've followed your career now for a really long time. I mean, winning the Euros, the jungle, there are things we massively don't have in common and then things we do have hugely in common, but we'll get to all of that. I'm going to kick things off.
Hey,
Thank
I like
you.
that.
Yeah. I want to talk about the transformative moments that have had an impact on your life. Now, am I right in thinking it didn't start with football for you? When you were 13, it was all about cross-country running.
Yeah, so right in the beginning, it was football. But then when I went to senior school, if you do one sport, you end up doing every single sport. So I ended up doing a bit of running and eventually I was okay at running. I think I had like a bit of a natural engine. I won the mini London Marathon when I was like...
Natural engine.
Well, natural engine.
Wish I had a natural engine.
My car doesn't, but yeah, I was okay. And then basically, yeah, everything was kind of going 100 miles an hour. I was running, I was playing football, and then eventually I got glandular fever. So I was doing too much, basically. They call it the kissing disease, but it was definitely doing too much sport. And then I had to choose which one
Mine was definitely for the other thing, I think, yeah.
So I chose football because I think running, it's just an individual thing. You're on your own. Whereas when you play football and you win with a team, like there's no better feeling.
And is that what you preferred about it, the kind of team feeling? It was kind of more interesting.
Yeah, and I'd done football since the age of 5. So that was like my first love, which you don't always stay with, but I did with football.
And was that something your parents kind of, because I kind of see, well, you see in football movies, don't you? The father kind of handing the football over to the kid, and it's all like that. Was it your own choice? Did you just see a football and think that's something I have to play with?
Yeah. Well, my grandma's like 90 now, and she thinks, I don't know if she's telling the truth, but she reckons on my christening day, which I was like 6 months old, my legs were doing this, and she was like, she's going to be a footballer. But I don't know if she's just trying to claim it because obviously girls didn't play football. That was a very big thing.
Yes.
So my mum used to say, like, what do you want to be when you're older? And I was like, a footballer. And it was kind of this dream that didn't exist, but I just loved playing football.
Did that make things hard for you at school? Or was
it was hard. Like first day of senior school, a boy was calling his names and he tripped us up and I broke my elbow and so
that actually breaks my heart.
Yeah, but even though I kind of had a broken arm, I always just wanted to play football. It was just what I loved doing. So yeah, obviously I sit here now and I think it's going to be such a smoother ride for the next generation, and that's what kind of makes us happy about where the game is now.
I guess you've got to have such a focus as well at that age, because all I remember at those kinds of ages I just wasn't focused. Anybody that was focused on their studies and anything to do with sport, I was fascinated with that because I didn't understand the discipline. So was that, again, just something that you just really felt, this is something I really want to do, this focus and discipline is so important?
Yeah, I think I am hardworking, definitely. I think that's kind of one of my main personality traits. Even after playing football, I am happy just working, trying to be better. And I think that's one thing. It's never been about playing for England, which has been absolutely amazing, such an honour. But it was always just about being the best version of myself. So I always had this thing that if you can look in the mirror at the end of the day and think, I've done everything I can today to be better than I was yesterday. And I think that was one thing I never wanted to let myself down. But it's just like when obviously the work you do now, like it's a tough industry. And I'm sure
it's tough for so many different reasons.
And the work ethic and focus, like in order to do what you love at a certain level, you have to have that work ethic. So I'm sure you're saying you didn't have it at school. But it was definitely in you.
It must have been. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I do look back and I think, God, I wish I'd concentrated and I wish I'd... But actually, I was obviously just doing things in kind of my own way. Your family must have been so proud of you. Were you good? Were you good at school? Were you good at Did you get your grades and things, or was it just solidly about sport?
I had quite a natural level. So basically, I underachieved when it come to my GCSEs. But for the amount of revision I did, I probably overachieved. But I was starting to go away with England a little bit. It's a little bit of an excuse.
How old were you when you decided to Man
So
City?
I went on, so with England I started going on a few camps when I was like 15. So that was obviously like GCSE level. So I would miss a little bit of school in terms of that, but it's probably an excuse. I didn't put enough work in. But when you say about, I think you have to find your thing,
Yes,
don't you?
totally.
And that's kind of academics and sitting down for long periods of time wasn't really my thing. So I think when you find that thing you love, it's like everything just comes together.
What did it feel like when you got the call to join the England squad? I mean, were you expecting it? Was it something that was building up?
No, I had a period of time where I was left out, and I think that was really where I worked even harder. So back then, not that you got told by a letter being delivered by pigeon, there was emails. So going back about 20 years. So we got an email just to say that I'd been selected, and I was so happy. I'd gone through years of my friends getting selected and me not getting selected, a lot of tears behind closed doors because I just wanted it so badly.
It's of a similar ilk in that, you know, the rejections are very hard in this industry, you know, and I guess in sport it might sometimes feel a bit more crushing because you're physically putting yourself through so much, you know.
Yeah, and I think now that you enter this industry, I think you're well equipped for it because of things that you've learned through sport. Like there is going to be times where things are going well, and there's going to be times where you get dropped from something or something goes bad, and that was the same with my sport. So
then going from that to I've got to talk about the Euros. Like I
thought you were going to say the jungle.
Oh
then.
no, no, Euros first. Like what a moment. I mean, I have to admit, I've never, you know, football for me has always been something that boyfriends in the past have like dragged me to.
Yeah.
I feel like that year, it was 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, it was.
2022, winning the Euros, the women winning the Euros. It was so huge. Everyone was backing it. It was a huge moment. I haven't seen a moment like that since Will Young and Gareth Gates on Pop Idol.
What a moment that was.
And that was a big, do you remember that?
Evergreen.
Yeah. And it was so huge. And I think it inspired so many women. It inspired, you know, people that maybe didn't have an interest in sports were all of a sudden so engulfed in it.
Yeah.
What was that like? It's such a broad question, but your first game, how did that feel?
I can't even like put it into words. I do remember the date because I've got a dodgy drunken tattoo on my arm, I think, to remind us of it. But I think it was almost like for us women in kind of a male-dominated industry, it was like we had to do the unthinkable to take the game to the next level. And there'd been a lot of tournaments prior to that. I was so fortunate that I played in 10 international tournaments. So there was a lot of defeats along the way, but finally getting that win, even now, like if I'm having a bad day or whatever, I can just look at the medal or look through my phone and the photos, and it was just such, I remember after just the levels of emotion. And I've actually never told the girls this, but after the game we were all in the changing room celebrating, and we hadn't had a drink for obviously a good part of a year because we had
I was going to ask, the celebrations must have been
there was a good 48-hour party after. But in the changing rooms, I remember there was a couple of like beers around, so people were having a little drink, and we'd only had about 1 or 2 beers, and the girls were like, oh, I'm so kind of, I feel drunk already, like it's been such a great day. And when we walked out the changing rooms, I decided it was a bit of a mess, so I said, oh, I'll tidy up. And I still haven't told the girls, but all the beer was 0% alcohol free.
No!
Yeah, which I think shows, because we were just on this like whirlwind.
You were so high on life.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
that's a story. That is so good. And I mean, I could ask you about the Euros all day. I just find it so fascinating. Were there moments where you felt unsupported? Because with all of that, obviously, we, you know, as women, we're constantly battling, and especially in a world like that, competing.
Yeah.
But I felt like what was so special about it were the men were completely on board as well.
Yeah.
And that must have felt quite amazing to just feel like everybody was on side, everyone was rooting for you.
Yeah, I think that was the first tournament when I speak about the previous 9 tournaments where I felt like it was like the whole nation was supporting us. So it was
Really was. It was.
Yeah, and we didn't have to like kind of tell our story, say, remember when we were the only girl in a boys team, it's been hard, there's been barriers. It was was like we were just being respected for being footballers.
Yeah.
And I think it felt like we could just put all of our energy into the football. And I do believe with the nation behind us, the support, it was just this really lovely journey. It didn't really have highs and lows because we kept winning. So yeah, when you speak about it, I really did feel like that, like everybody was behind us. And in the past, it's kind of, if you're going to support us because you know you're going to get stick for being a girl playing football.
I hate that song.
Yeah, I know. When you think about it, I'm like, when did it ever start that it was like only boys can play football? It blows my mind.
I know, God, I mean, I could talk about that on a whole other episode. This episode is brought to you by Soap & Glory. Soap & Glory Fresh as Fig is a gorgeous range that releases your inner goddess. This range includes a body wash, a body scrub, a body lotion, a body butter, basically anything for your body. Right, let's have a little play with this. You might notice notes of fig, obviously, and
there's something else.
Lemon blossom.
Oh,
this is my favourite. The body lotion is my favourite.
So, okay, tell us the order of these products.
Right, so I would go body
first.
scrub, then a body wash,
Then a body wash.
then a body butter,
Then a body butter.
then a body lotion.
Then a body lotion.
It's a tune.
It's like a rap.
It's a bloody body good time. But no, it was so amazing. And I, you know, what a high, what a high. But to go from that, I want to sort of swiftly move on to something we do have in common, which is the jungle. Obviously, from winning the Euros to then winning the jungle. I came second, but we won't go on about it.
Who won that one?
Harry Redknapp.
Oh, yes.
Worthy winner. I mean, I had no chance, you know. So how did you find the experience? I mean, there's so many comparisons. Like,
it's so hard to put into words, isn't it? Because how did you find out that you were going into the jungle?
Well, I was asked to do it, and then I sort of said to my agent, I've been sort of like, I was a jobbing actress and I wasn't earning enough money, I wasn't working enough, and I just needed some excitement in my life. I was going through a breakup. I was like, right, I need like a big whoosh again. I need a rocket up my arse to do something big. And challenge myself and all of that. And I'd been asked so many times before and I said, I'm not quite ready. And I just chose the year that I was ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they asked if I'd do it and I signed the contract. I wasn't meant to tell anyone and I told everyone.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, that was the hardest thing because people kept saying to me, what you're doing in November? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, well, you haven't got one date in November free. But I found out through an email and I actually thought it was like a hoax. I was like, no, they're not going to want me to go on there. And then there's a few like interviews and stuff like that.
Because sort of winning the Euros, that was such it wasn't overnight success. Of course it wasn't. It was, you know, years of working so hard. But did it sort of sometimes feel like you'd all of a sudden become this massively famous person?
I think the day after the Euros, I remember me and a couple of the girls walking along the street, which was the same walk we'd done for the previous 40 days.
Yeah.
And we were going to get a coffee and a few people would like say hello on the way. But this day after the Euros, the car horns are beeping. And it was just crazy. And I think that was the moment where I think naively we went out that night and I remember getting to the hotel.
And you forget how famous you are.
Well, we were on Oxford Street and I said to Lauren Hemp, Demi Stokes, I said, let's just run to Zara and go and get like an outfit for tonight. And we just kept getting stopped along the street. So there was an element of that. And then obviously the jungle then opens you up to this whole...
It ain't going to calm it down.
No,
completely. But you must have just felt so ready to do something like that. Did you kind of look at the jungle and think, well, compared to what I've just done, piece of piss?
I think it was just one of them. I remember going in and counting and I was like, which didn't take too long. I wasn't that bad at maths. I was like, there's 11 of us. So I was like, right, this is our football team. We've got to look after each other. And and I loved the element of like being outside. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time outside. But the one thing, I don't know how you found it. I don't know if it was coming back, going into it on the back of a footballing career. So I was still like eating a lot, but the food, I was so hungry.
So hungry. But I was just buzzing because the weight was dropping. My next question was, what did you first do when you got out? Was it just eat?
Shower.
Your flat white as well?
Yes, flat white. I had a flat white coffee because I do like my coffee, so to not have any coffee for that period of time. But I had a shower, then a bath, then a shower, then a bath because you just just couldn't get clean.
No, it's rank. And you come out stinking of the fire. I smelt like that fire for months afterwards. Couldn't get it out of my hair.
So true.
God.
I think because I'm used to playing football, though, I actually didn't mind just like looking a mess sometimes. But like, I can imagine, obviously, it would be a lot more difficult in other cases. But it was a great experience. Obviously, the people you meet, we're still friends now. So
it's the best thing ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then going on to win it as well. Did people drive you mad asking questions about
a lot of the questions, though, was like, oh, is it really what it's like on the telly? I think people think they feed you on the sly and stuff. And I was like,
I know, that's what
it is
everyone said to me.
exactly what you see on the telly.
Yeah. And I, exactly the same. They were like, surely there's like pizzas coming in on drones and stuff like that.
I actually wish.
I wish.
Just goat's testicles.
Yeah. Did you have to do the eating stuff? Oh my God, I had to do a drinking challenge and I had to drink blended pig's anus, blended turkey testicles, blended green ants. Not so bad if you have to.
Oh, the worst one for me was the blended fish eyes.
Oh my God.
It was like drinking a pint of sea salt water.
Oh my God.
Horrible.
Oh God. Pregnant woman thinking about eating fish eyes.
They say you get mad cravings, actually.
God. I know. Green ants. They taste like limes, not too bad. I was going to ask who wasn't the cleanest in there, but I think that's a bit mean. But we had something called the deodorant. We called it the deodorant. So it was this awful deodorant that didn't work, made you smell worse.
Yeah,
did you have that in there?
No, it actually did.
Yeah, and the soap and
we only had like a bar of soap to clean with. And I remember Boy George kept losing his soap. So he was like, Jill, can I use yours? So I give him it once. Like watched him, not in a weird way, but he was like cleaning, and then he went to give us the soap back. I was like, "You can keep it, George." Did he
get in all the crevices? Actually, no, I think I remember that. And then he handed it back.
I was like, "You can keep it, George," but you just can't get clean anyway. I was using the shampoo. Like,
there's some people that would pay a lot of money to have Boy George's soap rubbed all over them. I think.
I should have kept it actually, shouldn't I?
Well, I kind of wish that I kept. Nick Knowles had this pair of pants that are still in my dreams now.
I thought you were going to say in your wardrobe.
Yeah, no, I think they're in my mum's wardrobe. So in your professional career, obviously you face so many challenges, as we sort of said. You know, this industry is really, really tough. How do you seem like a very positive person anyway, but how do you kind of stay positive when things don't always feel like they're going so great?
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of feel like with you, this might be naive, but from an outsider, everything just seems to be going really great. So.
I think there is a bit, obviously, when you go into working in the kind of men's football, you still get a lot of like stick.
Do you still get that now? Yeah. Jesus Christ, you can't even win the Euros. Even that's not enough.
No, it's not enough. You still get it. You still get it. But I try. Obviously, social media is brilliant for a lot of things, and I know you've spoke about it in the past. But there is a very dark side of social media as well. Awful. So to be honest with you, I try and stay off it as much as I can. I think if you live in reality, not a lot of people, well, I don't think I've ever had anybody come up to my face and like be angry or say something negative, but through that platform, there's a lot of negativity sometimes. So yeah, I try and just kind of control what I can control and just keep fighting as well. I'm like, you know what, if it means that you're going to get stick for working in the men's football, it might just be that a young girl thinks, you know what, I want to do that when I'm older, because they can visually see you doing it. And that's what kind of makes us keep going. And the fact that I do think we could live in them spaces of course we can talk about men's football, men can talk about women's football. It's just football. It's like comedy. You get male comedians, female comedians. It's exactly the same.
Do you have any kind of post or pre-match routines? Do you still play now?
No, not really. So I'm doing Soccer Aid this year, which is always a fantastic cause. So I've been doing just a couple of football sessions. But yeah, I don't really miss it, actually.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think I'm probably all footballed out in a way. I had like football for 30 years of my life. My knee hurts a lot now, though.
Right.
I was actually hoping this was going to be a real bath and I could just, you know.
It is a real bath.
I've got a question for you. Bath or showers?
Totally depends.
If
I want to get clean, shower. If I want to wallow in my own filth and listen to like slow songs, whale music, bath.
Yeah.
Because I don't actually really feel clean in the bath.
No, I think you have to have a shower first.
Yeah. I heard when you came out the jungle, you had like, well, you just told me shower, bath, shower, bath. Those beautiful, massive jacuzzi baths in the hotel.
I don't even think 18 months on, I'm still 100% clean.
No, honestly, oh my God, my mum the other day, she got out she's still got my rucksack from the jungle with all my stuff in it. I can't even spell it though. The smell of the fire as soon as you just, the zip like that and you go, oh no.
It's like trauma, isn't it? Like trauma.
Complete trauma. But it's like nostalgia, trauma. Like I go, oh, does it make me happy? Does it make me depressed? Ooh. But it changed, that place changed me in so many ways. I mean, I don't know if you had that. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you feel like a transformation in yourself coming out of the jungle?
I think when I got out, I was like, right, I'm going to stay off my phone. I'm only going to eat like rice. I'm not going to have sugar, salt. And it probably lasted a couple of weeks.
Are you a self-care kind of person? I'm not very good with self-care always. But when I've got my Soap and Glory products, like I'm really good at it. So are you a self-care kind of person?
I'm a self-care kind of person in terms of like things that boost my energy. So on my way here, I was like feeling very tired. I have to have my coffee. So as soon as I have my coffee, I'm like 30% lift, 100%.
Yeah.
In terms of, I can go through, I think what I took for granted when I played football was eating well, training, because it was my job.
Right.
And I've really struggled to get into a routine, especially being busy with work. So I was this type of person that was like, why don't people go to the gym and stuff like that? But because I was doing it as a job, I naively, like, now I see how people can't fit it in. And I don't even have,
Do you enjoy the gym?
No, I hate the gym. I like going for a run, like just 20 minutes or something. But
I hate it so
much. It is a chore, isn't it?
I hate it so much. I do it because I have to. I mean, I've sat on my ass for literally 9 months. But
you are pregnant.
Yeah. I mean, but apparently I'm meant to be exercising. I'm not exercising when I'm in this state. I've got a bowling ball in my stomach. But that's really interesting actually to hear from a sports person that you also hate the gym.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't actually like the gym. Don't like the gym. But yeah, self-care, I think sometimes just like going to get your nails done or something like that. But a lot of things that I go to get done are just to give us a little bit of like an energy boost. So I actually do like a bath. So last night, loads of bubble bath and just chilled.
Yeah, nice.
So I think,
chilled.
Yeah, chilled. Well done. Well done. In my Soap and Glory products. Chillaxed. This is good.
Thank you.
I'm going to get an advert out of this.
So would you say that was your go-to self-care thing, a bath?
Yeah, a bath.
A bath.
This is north versus south. A bath and a coffee. Together, that would be nice, actually. Not a bath full of coffee, but...
Yeah, well, maybe.
Well,
it's the little things, isn't it, in life sometimes?
Yeah.
When you were sort of right in the middle of playing football, do you have time for self-care routines? Is it something that you're kind of allowed to indulge in a bit because it's important, or is it just kind of like no?
Well,
gotta go?
You get like massages and stuff like that, but I was never the type of person to sit still. Like even getting my nails done the other day, I went in and said, "Oh, can you just whack some colour on 10 minutes?"
I'm exactly the same. I don't like massages.
Yeah,
don't like them.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, don't like facials either.
Yeah,
no.
And facials give me spots actually.
Yeah, and I can't lie that I don't want to be touched like that. It's a sexual scenario for me. I can't do it.
What massages are you going to? This was just a gentle rub on my calves.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind that, but it's like, it's too long, it's too boring. Where's the bar? First of all, I want to say thank you so much for talking to me. I could talk to you all day.
Really
I find you fascinating.
This has gone really quick, actually.
I know, it is quite quick, isn't it? Well, we don't like things I knew you don't like sitting still for too long, so I don't want to, keep you. Oh, thank you so much for talking to me. You're amazing. You're a legend. I'm very starstruck. Thank you.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed it.
And thank you for watching Soaking Up Life with Emily Atack. And remember, if you want to chillax, bars, not spas.